we're live now. We're still adjusting our camera, and Betsy is. Wait, you're now putting it back in the light.
Look,
Betsy.
Yes,
I can't see in this light. It's horrible. All right, let's put it back over here, please, Betsy. Please. All right, Betsy and I are having our first fight. Here's your microphone.
May not be our last,
and probably not our last. Because what did I say? I said that Betsy is a Spitfire, and I was absolutely right. Anyway, I'm Gina Hendrix. This is my Tuesday night talks. I do talks every other Tuesday night, sometimes with a live studio audience. Although tonight I didn't do a live studio audience because I didn't want to tell Betsy, guess what? The ladies are on the bus and they're coming in. So, in lieu of a live audience, I got to shoot here at Betsy's gorgeous home in Malibu that overlooks the ocean, and I wish that she would have let me turn the camera that way because the view is incredible of the ocean. I mean, it's incredible.
But we look better this way.
But we look better this way, apparently. Thank God that she knows what she's doing because I don't. And if I know you're writing questions, sometimes you'll probably say that, but I don't know. Hello, hola. I can't read from that far.
Do you want glasses?
No,
okay.
I've got glasses on my head.
Good. Oh, geez.
But I still don't think I can. So tonight we're going to be talking with Betsy Russell, actress, mom, do I say spiritual advisor? What do we say here?
Life coach.
Life coach. Life coach. Betsy has had a very, very interesting life. And so if you guys don't know me, I'm a matchmaker, I'm a relationship expert. I've had 2 different radio shows. So this show that I do called Tuesday Talks is a hybrid between the 2 shows I used to have.
Okay.
So one was a show called Love Life Makeovers. So I had experts on the show, had anything to do with contributing to the conversation of helping people's love, their life, anything. And then Beyond Beautiful was a show where you came on, and where I had beautiful, interesting women. So this show, I'm combining both of those, and Betsy actually covers all those topics anyway. So this is exciting because Betsy's one of my favorite ladies. She's, I think she's inspiring to women of all ages, and we can learn a lot from Betsy, so we're going to learn a lot from her today. So Betsy, first, catch me up with what you've been doing. And if for those few people out there that may not know you, Betsy Russell, will you tell everybody a little bit of your backstory?
My backstory is my son is in there whistling and doing dishes loudly. My backstory.
I'm going to close that door.
That's a good idea. My kids. The kids never leave, as we know, thank God. 24. So what I've sort of been doing my whole life is acting since I was 17, and then I stopped acting to have my kids and raise them, and that was great. And then my husband and I got divorced, moved out to Malibu, and I got back into acting and did the Saw movies, and now...
So have you seen the Saw movies? You've seen Betsy. I've not seen those movies because I get scared.
That's kind of scary. Yeah, sure. So now... and then I discovered that parts were few and far between, and I had to sort of find something else that I was excited and passionate about because my kids had grown pretty much, and I found spiritual psychology at the University of Santa Monica, and that was life-changing for me.
I know a lot of women. Let's hold our microphone. So I know.
I'm just gonna put it. I can't remember to hold it.
Okay, so I know a lot of women who have studied the spiritual psychology thing, especially here in LA. You hear a lot about the spiritual psychology. So tell us, what is spiritual psychology?
Well, and also people come from all over the world.
Oh, they do?
To go to that particular school. Yeah, and they move here from China and just everywhere. Yeah, it's people come to really fix their broken souls because, if you have a broken arm, you go to a doctor, right? Well, a lot of people are walking around like zombies trying to numb themselves because they're broken on the inside and don't really even know it, but they know that they're in so much pain that they have to find something that works, and they hear from people that this is a great place to get better. So that's what it is. So spiritual psychology is basically...
But so you don't go to spiritual psychology. I thought you went to spiritual psychology to this place so that you could learn to help others, but you're saying it heals.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, although there are a lot of doctors and therapists that go there, but people go there really
to heal themselves.
Heal themselves. I mean, a lot of people end up becoming therapists and coaches because after you've done so much work, and we feel so much better, then the natural outcome is you're going to want to help others.
So how long were you there?
Like 4 years, but it's a 2-year master's program. You don't have to have gone to college, though. So at least this is the way they used to do it. They've changed now. So it used to be a 2-year master program, and then a third optional year was called health and healing. Oh my gosh. And then I did a certification course for life coaching.
And so tell me because everybody hears the term life coaching. I've heard it forever.
Because there are lots of us on the planet, but a lot of different kinds.
Yeah, and so tell us more about life coaching, and what does that entail, and what do you do?
Well, I guess life coaching could be anything that you feel that you're making a difference in people's lives. The way that I like to say it is, well, actually, I even do something different now, because I now study something called the 3 Principles, which was started by a man named Sid Banks. So that, I use my USM education, but mostly I teach the nature of thought, which is the 3 Principles. And that is so effective in helping people feel better, because once we realize it's all an illusion and only our thoughts are telling us what's real and what's not, once people get that, it's like a light bulb goes off, and suddenly everything makes sense. So I love to coach. In fact, I didn't love coaching in the way that you're going back and healing all of your wounds and your inner child and dragging that stuff up, because once you've experienced it once and it's very hard to go through it, why do you need to come back and experience it again? And with 3 Principles, we don't really go back and relive all that. We just teach the nature of thought. And
so you work from the present.
Yeah, I just teach how the mind works and why we're dragging things back up from the past. It's just a choice.
So like for women, let's say, who are constantly picking the wrong guys, right? Always picking the bad boys. Is that something you could help with? Because that's the nature of thought, right?
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, it's all thought, but it's also thought that they're bad boys. I mean, and so it's a question of what.
Okay, or how about
different
well, then
to
let's
each
take
person.
Let's take the word bad boy out of it and say if somebody constantly picked people who were unavailable for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Then I would say that person is probably unavailable, because we draw others to meet us where we are.
Okay.
So until we're really ready, and until we're to the point where we know ourselves so well that this is who I am now, I feel like I'm a whole, I think that I'm a whole person. We're all whole and healthy, we just don't think that we are sometimes. So once we realize that we are, then we can draw others in who are as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. My experience is that a lot of people think they're actually fine and they're not. I have the opposite experience with a lot of people.
Well, it's just a question of what isn't fine. I mean, it's all thought. So like what's fine to me could be completely different what's fine for you. Somebody showing up late every single time they have a meeting with me could be okay to me, because I know that's how that person is, and they just have a lot of other great qualities, and I'm just okay with them being late. But to you, you could say, I'm never going to see you again.
Right.
So see, in spiritual psychology, there isn't even right and wrong. It just is. It's all our judgment.
And do you really practice this, Betsy? Do you really go through life like this?
I do now.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to...
Well, after 10 years of studying and practicing and really surrounding myself with my few friends that believe the way I do, so we're supporting each other all the time, and even my son has done workshops with me, we're coaching, so we're constantly kind of, reminding each other. So like if I'm having negative, insecure thinking about a guy, for instance, oh my God, he hasn't called me, my girlfriend's like, Betsy, if he's not your guy, he's not your guy. It's like constantly reinforcing love, compassion, this is the universe giving me answers to my questions that I didn't even know I had. So it's just a different existence than I lived 10 years ago. I've always been positive. I've always been very Pollyannish. And when I got to University of Santa Monica, I was like, wow, this is okay to be this way. I always thought there was something weird about it. But this is even how you're supposed to be in their eyes. And then, I just kept taking it farther. And now I love helping people. And
have you ever studied transcendental meditation?
I have not really gotten into, I have for a weekend here, a weekend there, but for some reason I kind of resisted meditation. And then when I got to the 3 Principles, what they teach is that we don't need to do anything to be in that peaceful, wonderful, almost a meditative state, because when we live thinking this way without a lot, I don't say I'm never judging or whatever. Of course, I've got my moments, but I know I'm doing it.
Right.
But it's like when you live this way, your life, at least mine, is very peaceful and calm. I don't need to do thousands of things every minute to make myself busy. So it's like I'm always meditating.
So, okay.
And that's what 3 Principles says. Like, what do you need to do to be happy? Just live, and that's, whatever works.
So let's backtrack a little from when you were doing the acting, and then you met your husband through that, right? Because he's one of the Van Patten. I don't know if you know the Van Pattens, but he's one of the Van Pattens.
Yep.
He's still very cute, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah, great having him be the father of my
but your
kids.
boys look like you, though.
Yeah,
your boys look like you. But anyway.
They're his height, though, so very happy about that.
That's good. They're not littles.
No.
No, they're decent-sized
They're
men.
6'1", yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. So you took a break from acting when you had your kids, and but then you actually, let's just say, you actually had the success with the Saw movies at a later age, certainly.
Yeah.
So that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, I say it's practically impossible to come back from acting once you've quit, and it was, but I was sleeping with the producer. So
there we go. Now, I was going to talk about, casting couch.
Finally sleeping with the right person, he liked to say. So that was
That's
helpful.
Funny.
And
I see.
Yeah, so he brought me back, and then I did some other things, and and then I got into psychology. So I think it all worked perfectly, and really that's all I've been doing for the last 10 years is studying that, doing some movies here and there. But I don't really take many of the things that I get offered.
How come?
Because it's a lot of people wanting to kill me in their little tiny horror movies. And after doing Saw, which I really have a lot of respect for, and it was it was high quality. I don't need to be in 2 scenes of somebody's silly movie where there's no point to it. So I mean, I'm a little spoiled in that way, and I don't have to. I get to live this beautiful, wonderful life, and I don't have to do what I don't want to do anymore. I'm so grateful.
That's very lucky.
Yeah, very grateful.
So then you're now, you find yourself single these days, correct?
As of the last few months, yes.
You're Betsy's never single for very long.
Well, I was single for a year before my last relationship.
Okay.
And that was a big thing for me because I'd never been single that long. So I was single for a year, and then I met somebody that I considered to be the love of my life, besides my husband. And it was, I think, just bad timing because he was just getting out of a marriage. Literally, I was his second date. So I learned a great lesson. Not only have I accumulated all these exes as wonderful friends, but I learned a lesson that I personally, and never say never, but I won't date somebody that's not a year and a half at least out of a divorce, because it's just, they're in shock. I mean, as much as it's great to have a life coach, in your bed 24/7 or whatever, I mean, it was all great. It's a really hard time for people, and I think they just kind of, they need rebounds, which I probably was, but they need to go through it, and I don't necessarily want to be that person again. So.
And so would you date somebody who they've been separated for 5 years and just haven't gotten divorced?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on paperwork. As long as they're living separately, I'm not. Yeah, low battery just in case. But.
And what do you think? Oh, that's shocking because I had it all charged up.
Oh gosh.
Well, we're only going to do it for 30 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
So, because last time I went on and on for like an hour and a half or something crazy. But so you don't care. The paper's not important to you.
Paper's not important to me. It's just the way of life. But, I mean, are they living together? That would be important, probably.
That would be important.
Although I get along great with a lot of people. Who knows?
And what do you think? So when you go on dates, what are things that guys do that you'd be like, oh, hell no, he ain't getting a second date? In your best judgmental
non-judgmental way. Well, actually, I even canceled a date yesterday just because I didn't really feel like we connected energy-wise on the phone. And I'm usually pretty good about that. And one thing it's just a pet peeve for me, it's people that put down actresses.
Oh, right.
So that just to me isn't very smart to do. So, and I really like brilliant, in my opinion, brilliant men. I just do. And
define brilliance. Like, what's brilliant to you?
I don't know how to define it because it's going to be different for me than it is for me. It's just somebody that would be smart enough not to say, well, I know actresses have this, tendency to be late.
Not to be judgmental, basically.
Yeah.
You don't want to be judgmental.
So there's always exceptions to the rule, and, I'm an exception to the actresses being late thing, so I'm sure there's lots of generalizations that don't hold true for me. So I just thought, that's kind of rude. I didn't like it.
Oh, so he said that on the phone?
Yeah, he said, actresses? Well, I hope that you don't cancel on me because I know, actresses have a tendency to be very flaky.
And then you did cancel, though.
Of course I did. Of course I did. After telling him, well, I'm not flaky. But no, he said they cancel right at last minute.
Okay.
So I canceled only a couple hours after we made the date, a week in advance, because I told him I didn't want to be the actress that canceled last minute.
And did you cancel via text?
I ended up talking to him on the phone, but I read your thing, which was great.
Yeah.
And he called me, and But we had a discrepancy in a lot of things. I actually canceled twice on him.
Oh, okay.
Because I talked to him. I said, second thought, I can make tonight. And then he called, and I still didn't like some other things he said, so I just said I don't really like our energy, and that was it. I didn't even want to talk to him again. I just didn't like the energy.
Interesting. Because I don't know, because you and I, and we don't have to go into this too much, but we will a little bit. Because you and I had a thing when we first met, years ago, going back years ago. And I was trying to set Betsy up with somebody. And she was like, no, I don't want to go out with him.
Didn't like the picture. She didn't like the picture because he looked old.
Like the picture.
Right.
She thought he looked old. She ended up meeting him on her own. And then you ended up being crazy about him. Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny? But she wouldn't let me set her up. She met him on her own, and yeah,
I didn't like the picture. And you know what I've learned?
But did you learn from that?
I think it's smart not to see pictures ahead of time sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've had some good. I mean, I really haven't dated much. The whole thing is, I've probably had 20 dates in my entire life.
But I don't know about that.
Honestly.
But by that token, don't you think then it might be better not even to talk to them either first? Just go in with an open mind.
Oh yeah, sure. If that happens, great. But if I talk to them,
right. But
sometimes they want to talk. I mean, actually, has that ever happened? Usually, I don't think it's ever happened where I've talked to them, had a bad feeling, met them, and didn't still have a bad feeling though. And not that it could.
But don't you think the seed has been planted maybe at that point?
No, I don't think. I think I really have good instincts. Maybe not with the pictures, but I can tell. At least that's my thought.
How did we meet to begin with?
Today. Because you Facebook friended me through Karen. You knew.
I knew it was another friend.
Yeah,
right.
Beautiful Karen Moore. Yeah.
And she's still with her boyfriend.
Yes.
That's so
great. Success story.
It's a long time.
Ring the bell.
I know. How long? Ding, ding, ding. How long's that been?
You didn't
now?
set them up.
Thanks for adding that.
Sorry. 5 years. That was a matchmaker.
5 years, and they're not married.
Well, I'm not going to go into her personal life. But
okay, got it.
Yeah,
but they're happily together.
That's a funny story because she got set up by a matchmaker, and this friend of ours, Karen, who's beautiful, had been through so many dates. She didn't, and she's so naturally gorgeous. She didn't even. I don't think she showered. Sorry, Karen. We didn't say your last name. She didn't shower. She didn't wear makeup. She doesn't need it. But she went on this date, met this guy. There's low battery again.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to show up in the thing.
Okay.
She met this guy, and she was like, holy crap, this guy is gorgeous. He has great personality. And
what time is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
7:20.
Great.
And he has lifestyle she was looking for. She's like, I should have showered.
But
it worked. Oh
right.
yeah, they're madly in love.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want you to give the people, before my phone runs out of juice, give us like 5 tips. Can you give 5 tips to the guys
about dating?
Dating, like things to not do. Because I know a lot of men were interested in seeing you tonight.
Oh really?
Yeah. So they're going to be listening. So tell these guys what to never do.
All right. Well,
maybe not you so much, but just in general, you think guys like you tell your boys like, don't do this.
I do tell them every single day. Like I came home yesterday. Okay, so I came home yesterday because I had a lunch date yesterday, and the guy the whole time was. It's funny because I've had a few dates recently because I just started dating again. It's been 3 months since our breakup. I just started dating, and 3 of them have already said, what's our next date going to look like? I want to take you away. Where would you want to go?
I'm going to put this in my case.
Yeah,
then we can talk more.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't mind her not being here. So they were telling me, oh, push from the other side, push it back. There you go. Inside the screen. No. Inside the screen. Yes. What was the question? No, I'm just kidding. The question, okay, so I came home and told my son, this guy, we left lunch. So he told me he definitely wanted another date. He asked me where I wanted to go on our next date. He texted me, it was so great meeting you, can't wait for round 2. Okay. So I thought, okay, he wants to go out with me again. That's great, because I was definitely interested. And then, guess what he did?
Okay, we're on the edge of our seats.
He didn't call me or text me, and it's been 24 hours. So what's my thought process? I'm starting to think, I wonder if he's going to...
Shoot, it's commercial break.
Commercial break. You did...
Let's see. Oh, no, we're still here. Isn't that fun? This is what makes it live stream so fun.
All right, so I think I told my son...
So he told you he liked you, and then...
I mean, you don't 100% know, although I've never had somebody tell me things like that and then not follow through. But you got to plug the...
I'm gonna.
Because I always forget to do that.
I got you covered. Hang on, people.
All right.
Life's an adventure. It's all good. I got it. Oh my God. This is what makes things fun. Hang on. Shit.
This is silly. Here, let me help.
Crap. No. Cancel. Don't end. Okay, great. We're back.
Oh, the whole thing is
Okay, here we go. It's fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Pick up where you were.
We're
not going to use the
just
mic.
plug it in. Yeah.
It won't
oh,
plug
it doesn't
in.
work with that.
No.
Okay. So basically,
get to
I
it.
told my kids, when you go on a date, let the girl know that you're into her, and then give her a little space. Okay. So would I love it if he calls me tonight? Yes, because I'm into him, right? So let her kind of go in strong, let him know, but don't kill him with texts and calling right away in the first 24 hours. Let him think, I wonder if he's going to call. I know
Why?
he seemed...
Isn't that game playing?
Because
Somebody's texting me.
in the beginning, it's fun for a man, in my opinion, it's fun that a man be a hunter and a woman get hunted, but that she has a moment. I think you miss somebody and you have a chance to reflect and say, wait a minute, am I hoping that he calls? Am I not? If they're stifling you...
We've debated this a lot,
Okay, I
on
get
my threads and
stifled
stuff.
sometimes, I have to say, and I'm not just being, like
Difficult?
totally overly confident.
Difficult?
But I get stifled, and I think I would have a chance to like the guy more if he wasn't
Up in you.
too much. And
okay,
even if I
yeah.
seem like I'm into them, still, you're the man. Be cool, calm, and collected, and be a little bit more, just a little bit cooler. That's all I can say.
Right. Well, I will.
Not a game.
I will say that I feel like get on in here too a little closer. I will say that it is a turnoff when a guy's like all over you too soon.
you
Like
just-
that is just like too
You're
much.
Like, yeah, chill
Just
out.
need a
Don't you
little
have
space.
a job or something that you should be doing right now?
Well, I mean even physically on the first date, like too
Oh,
much,
no,
too
no,
soon.
I don't have any of that.
Right.
No.
What if you were attracted to a guy and he was like that? Would that turn you off?
Depends on
or
their
you
age.
just go depends on what?
If they're on their age, I mean, if it's a young, I'm talking because let's be honest here.
Let's
I
be honest.
dated all different age range
Yes.
from young.
Yes.
Because I kind of have been in the guy role a little bit for my life because I've had a good choice of who I'm going to date because because I'm that sexy girl who's been in movies and I'm what I mean. I've
Because
had
you have
a
money
choice.
and you're hot and you have options.
And a brain,
Yeah,
kind of,
and a brain,
maybe.
right, that's
and
true.
because I know how to not smother people and not ask too many questions and not
And
be
in
that
your age
insecure
range,
person.
well, and in your age
Well,
range, you're a catch.
yeah, my age range.
You know what I mean?
That's just
Well,
cute.
no, well, I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's women. But we're talking about right now. We're talking about women who are dating in your age range. That's
Right.
what we are talking
Right.
about.
Okay.
And so, in your age range of women, you are a catch. So, meaning you have the pick of younger or older, or the whole
Right.
the whole gamut, which a lot of women don't have.
Yeah, and
That's what I meant. You're a
I
catch
totally
at
am
any
not
age.
taking anything as anything other than positive. Believe me,
It's
I'm
all
so
positive.
grateful.
You're a
But-
catch at
so
any
if
age,
it's a
Betsy.
young guy and I'm just thinking, okay, this could be fun for like a boy toy or
Right,
whatever. Because
right.
let's face it, guys think that way. Why can't we?
Yeah.
If time too much goes on.
Depends on what you want. I mean, you've
Time-
had kids, you've been married, you've got a lovely home. So yeah, but women who still
I want the love of my life. Let's face it.
Okay.
I'm searching for that, and I'm not just searching for sex. But I mean, at some point, if some young hot guy comes up to me and he's all over me, I'm probably, and I'm out with my girlfriends and stuff. I don't think I'm gonna go like, get the hell away from me. You're
Get your
just
tongue out of my mouth.
You're crapping my style. Okay, I'm not
Play
gonna
it
do
cool.
That.
No.
There's no way in heaven if I'm single that I'm gonna do that. So that's my point.
Now, would it? Let me ask you a question. Would it worry you to actually have a relationship, like if you liked a younger guy, and like let's say a Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher situation, right? Would you ever marry a younger guy like that, or would that make you nervous? Because for me, it would make me very nervous that someday it'll be the Mila Kunis exit strategy. Do you know
Never
what I mean?
say never, because I've been with guys that were a little older than me and they did the same exit strategy.
Well, that's true too.
And
That's
I've been
a good
with a lot
point.
of older guys
That is a
who
good
I think,
point.
is he going to get sick or not? There's always something, unless you're
That's true.
the exact same age, then it's going to be what? He's still going to die before me, because, what men
Right.
usually do. There's always something you could worry about. Have I
Good
been
point.
attracted to a younger guy as far as having in a relationship? No. Would I go 5 years younger and think, okay, he's my equal? Yeah. I would.
Right,
I would
absolutely,
definitely
that's true.
think that, or even 7, or even 10 probably. But other than that, I would probably just think more of like, no, just for fun.
So let's talk about more things that you tell your boys not to do
Okay,
with
yeah, we
women.
were on that,
Yeah.
that thing. Okay, so I basically, and their dad does too, go in for the, I really am into you, but then give them a little space. Just because I think naturally we need that. Manners, key.
What are manners?
I teach them everything from, I make pacts with them too. I say, if I am at the gym, you guys are there, and I bring someone over to meet you, if you guys stand up every single time, like, I will cook for you for the next week. I'm seriously making deals with my kids just so they know how important it is to me.
So you think when a man meets
Anybody.
So when a man meets anybody, he should stand up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a stickler for manners.
That's
just
a great one.
Just a little bit.
Effort.
Show that you have
Right.
respect.
I'm going to start
their
noticing.
age.
I love that, actually. I love that.
Okay, so that's super important to me.
See if
And
there's any questions.
my dad too. Like if somebody walked in the room and I was there with a date and they didn't stand up, I'd be like, oh, my dad's gonna kill
that's
me.
a good one.
Because I hear it. Okay, so that's, do that. Obviously, pay for everything for the girl. Ask her, if you see the drinks going down, say, can I get you another drink? Watch her drink.
Should a woman ever offer to chip in? Betsy, I just wanted you to field that question.
The way that I feel about this is probably completely different than other people, and I think it's an age thing.
Okay.
If somebody is my age and they don't have, the best job, if they're not wealthy, and I've said this before, if they're not super wealthy, I'm going to say, hey, do you want some cash?
Okay.
All right. If they have a big job and they're wealthy, I would never
No.
offer.
And I think they would be insulted. And if they wouldn't be insulted, then I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't be the guy for
It's
you.
terrible. Okay, so anyway,
It's
let me
terrible.
get on. It's terrible to say that stuff, but that's
That's
kind
okay,
of
we
how
have
I
to be
do it.
honest.
I remember thinking, okay, this guy's my age. He's a dentist, which is still. I'm still going to say, do you want some cash?
Wait, this happened?
Yeah, I always just, if I went out with a dentist or somebody that doesn't, and he's paying his ex-wife, and this, money matters,
Yeah, and even, sometimes the guys appreciate just the gesture.
Yeah, but I don't do it. I still don't do it if he's a little bit older and successful, really successful.
Right.
I just would never do it.
Right, but a dentist, you think?
A dentist.
For some random
I
reason.
feel so bad, and I know some
That's
super
so odd.
I know he was like a younger guy. I think he was probably like 5 years younger.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just in my head. Sometimes I offer. Most times I don't. But for the guy, like, notice their drink, pull out their chair, put their coat on, and
Pull out their chair?
Lift up their hair when you
Out of
put
the
the
coat.
coat on. It's
I can't tell
big.
you. Get this, Betsy. I can't tell you, guys. Listen up. If you don't know this already, but I've had a few younger clients who didn't know to pay the girls' valet. You always pay the ladies' valet, right?
Oh yeah.
Even if you didn't valet.
Yeah.
Guys don't
And
get
even,
that.
This is what
right?
my ex-husband
Even
did.
if you park down the street
Of
or you
course,
Ubered or you
of
Lyft.
course, yeah.
Yeah, look at that face. Yes,
course.
of course.
But
so you
my
always pay her valet.
My ex-husband, when he came to meet me on our first date, he had already eaten. He said, I'm going to meet you at the restaurant. I had just finished. He got there, and he said, where's the bill? And I said, oh, it just came. I'm going to pay it. He goes, no, you're not. To me, I know it's only 23, but that was the first, this guy is going to pay for me, and he didn't even eat. That was my first inkling
Classy, yeah.
of what manners can do for us as women.
Right.
It makes us feel like Pretty Woman, like we're being swept away.
It does.
So I believe that manners can make us fall in love, just like that.
I totally agree with you.
And
I think a lot of times, though, a lot of guys these days, Betsy, they think a woman's going to take advantage of them.
That's thinking, isn't it?
It's thinking, right.
It's negative thinking. And when they meet the right woman, they're not going to think that. Or they're not going to care if they think that, because they're going to be so into her.
That's true. That's a
Because
good
it's all
point.
thinking, and they probably had some bad experiences from the past, and they're bringing it forward.
And so any other tips? Any other things
God,
that are
there's
like
so many. So the
Now,
manners are
What
huge.
about the Lyft and Uber thing? Like, how does that work these days for you with dating?
So if I trust the guy and I know him through friends or he's whatever, I can Google him. I will, a lot of times, and if he's close, I'll say, come get me.
Okay.
And if not, I'll meet him there. If I'm going to meet him there in an Uber, which I haven't done yet because I just haven't, then I would pay for it or whatever.
that's fine,
but I would
right.
always expect them to say, can I call an Uber for you back? That's just
That's
nice.
true. That's true.
And I
Yeah.
had one guy, my last boyfriend, actually, on our first date, the first thing he said to me when I met him, he must have been nervous. He's like, I've never done this. I haven't dated in so long. He said, was I supposed to call you an Uber or a car?
Oh, that's
what
cute.
was I supposed
That's
to do?
Cute that he said that.
Super cute.
Right. And what'd you say?
No, I'm fine. I drove. I'm fine.
That's cute.
You know?
Very nice.
But obviously, if they're super wealthy, I would say, and it's a long way to go, I would expect, and as your men would probably say, can I send a car for you?
Yes, and I will say it to them if they haven't thought of it. I was
And
like,
then
well, let's just get her a car.
Price
and they're like,
point, I
oh
would say
yes,
definitely.
absolutely, yes.
So that's nice to do, just to offer, and it makes us feel like, oh my God, who are we going out with? So it's cool. Other things. So just, I think on a date, if it's going well. For me, and I've only had a few dates this last time. Every single guy.
This last bout of being single. Okay.
Because like I said, I'm always in a relationship.
You've had more than 20 dates in your life.
I don't know.
Yes, you have.
Because I've only been single for 1 year, and I only dated like once a month in that year.
Okay.
I'm really picky. That's why
yes, you are very picky.
Betsy
is very picky. But I thought isn't your whole philosophy being open-minded?
Yeah, but I
How
don't.
can picky and being open-minded go hand in hand?
Wait, being picky. And being
because I would think that whole psychological, the spiritual, the stuff that you're into, would be really about keeping an open mind.
Yeah, but open mind doesn't mean that I'm led to just date millions of people. Well, I follow my thoughts and my instincts, and they're always right.
And when you're picky, let's talk about that because that's interesting. When you're picky, what does that mean? Like, define that. How does a guy get a date with you, Betsy? How does he get in there?
There's a lot of different ways. I mean,
if he wrote to you on Facebook?
Yeah, that could be one way.
And what does he go? Hi. Does he have to say something clever?
It's always different. I mean,
depends on how cute he is.
Yeah,
that's always the go-to, unfortunately, guys.
But it doesn't have to be that he's just...
Cute guys can get away with so much shit, and it's a bummer.
I don't know if it's a bummer. I just think that if they're clever, I've gone out with super uncute guys that happen to be clever.
Well, yeah, if you're not cute, you've got to be clever.
It helps.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't be not cute and
I mean, I've
stupid.
had people just say certain things to me that just kind of, it had to be in the right moment, at the right time, and I was single, and I was just hanging out, and I was like, sure, I'll meet you, you know, who, you know, usually I don't answer anybody if they're cute, in Facebook. I don't answer.
You don't answer anybody if they're cute?
Unless they're not cute. But even if they're cute, I don't.
Why?
Because I don't get a good vibe.
Well, is it because it's Facebook or no? You don't mind somebody?
No, it's just because they don't live in a good place. They just seem, I mean, I got hundreds of messages.
So like if they lived in Arcadia?
No. Well, it's not geographically desirable. And honest to God, if they don't have a good job, if they don't have a good job and they can't fly me wherever they are and stuff, I'm not, you know, worrying about my tickets and doing all that to go to some godforsaken place in the middle of nowhere. Has to be, if I'm going to relocate,
we're talking to be honestly here.
It has to be amazing. Why am I going to relocate and leave this?
Right.
So in my mind, I'm picky because I'm not moving. I mean, I'm splitting my time if it's somewhere great.
Right.
And that's really why I'm still single.
But let's, you know, another important thing to talk about is that a lot of times, you know, women these days, and you look phenomenal, which I know you guys can tell, obviously, like a teenager practically. It's sick and ridiculous. But you don't get all that work done. You don't.
No.
And it's a blessing. The women that get those lips.
Yeah, well, I've done a little of that. I've done
barely.
shots.
If you've done any, it's
I
not like
I haven't done my eyes. I haven't done my nose. People know I've done my boobs, but that's it. I mean, I am really super excited about aging gracefully, and I hope that aging is excited about me.
Now, do you do filler?
Yeah.
A little filler, though.
I do.
You don't, like, because, you know, a lot of times these women end up with this factory face.
And I've done that. I've overdone it with the puffy cheeks, but I think I'm finding my mojo.
Yeah.
And I do filler, and I do Botox, so I try to be sensible. I've been doing filler like basically once a year now, only like every 9 months. I just did it. And the Botox, I was trying to only do every 6 months, but just, you know, but I go to the great doctors. And
who do you go to?
Well, I'm not saying that right now.
Why not?
Because I can't remember the name of one, but I did go to Canodia for a while.
I know you sent me to Canodia.
Yeah.
I went to Canodia. I mean, can I tell you how much money that Jesus? He just comes in there and he goes, and you walk out and it's like a $3,500 bill, and I was like, oh my God. And then I hope it lasts for a year because I know myself. I'm not that person that goes in. No, it doesn't.
No, but I go to a new guy now who actually does face transplants, and I'll tell you about him later. I don't know what I'm saying.
God.
So I figured if he does face transplants, what he's doing to me is very, you know, it's like low in the totem pole thing, so he's got to know what he's doing. So
and
that's
what about
I recently
thermage?
I haven't done any. I don't do lasers. I do peels.
Because what bugs me is like crepey arms.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that.
Crepey. You know, it's like
I know that where they put blood on your face. I'm going to try that, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What kind of blood?
Yours.
Your own?
Yeah. You know, everyone's doing that. And
They
they've been
are?
doing it in Europe forever, yeah. So I'm
I
gonna
don't know
definitely,
anything.
I'll
what's
do
going
stuff
on.
like that, but it's called the vampire facial. And you have
Whoa.
a couple days of downtime. So I believe in all
Why
that.
do you have a
and
couple
peels.
days of downtime?
Just because I think it's intense and a little bit invasive. But I'll tell you something for sure. The peels work, and people get in Beverly Hills. They get put out for days and do the peels. I believe in that.
What's your favorite peel?
I don't. I just do.
IPL
Yeah, I
or-
just do these. I literally do it myself. Here.
Oh.
I do my own peels because I was getting them to dermatologists, and some of my really smart friends went and found out what they were using and ordered it on Amazon, and we kind of do our own now.
Oh,
So I'm really
God.
kind of low maintenance with all that.
That's highly unusual.
Yes.
To be a divorced lady in Malibu.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
barely even get facials. I'm really, I believe in low maintenance, and
I would think though that that's what guys would like about you.
I don't know. Yeah, I would think they would too.
Or like your son said, that's the least of your worries.
Well, yeah, he said my looks. That was a big compliment. The least of my worries.
She
But
thought
you-
that was a compliment.
You thought it was.
I corrected you. No, it's
But
not.
I so know that he unconditional loves me so much and thinks I'm brilliant because I can help him. So
He's
I'm
saying
not
your
worried
looks are
about
not
it.
your issue. Something else is to be discovered. I don't know. I think it's the pickiness.
He probably
right?
thinks I think
There's
too
nothing
much.
wrong with being picky.
No, he doesn't think it's picky at all
Oh, he
because he
doesn't?
doesn't even think I'm picky.
Oh, he doesn't?
He probably doesn't know I'm picky.
Oh.
Well, usually if you're always in a relationship, nobody would think you're picky. Does
That's
that
true.
make sense?
Yeah, of course it makes sense.
And I
Yeah.
would probably say this a similar thing, but when it comes to dating, I'm picky.
Now, what's the biggest mistake you think you've ever made when you, like, have you ever felt like, God, I blew it with that guy?
Don't believe in mistakes. I don't think there
Oh,
are such a thing.
jeez, McGee's.
I really don't.
Oh, come on, Betsy.
I think
Cut
everything
the shit.
happens for a reason.
You don't think you've ever done anything wrong?
Well, remember, we don't believe in wrong and right in spiritual psychology,
Right.
and there's no mistakes. Everything happens divinely, perfectly for our growth
Okay.
and evolution.
Okay.
But if I had to say, no, that's boring, but I love to look back and say, oh my God, it wasn't a mistake. It was meant to happen, and I just don't know why right now.
But do you ever go,
Wait,
gosh,
so
I wish I
maybe
hadn't have done that?
Maybe I blew it, but maybe that wasn't my guy.
I know. Okay, maybe it wasn't, but how? But what do you think? Like, and like,
Foot in my mouth. That would be the
like
thing.
saying something you wish you hadn't have said.
Yeah, I'm sure I think back. What did I say? Especially if I've had a couple drinks, I wake up in the middle of the night. Even if I'm with a guy, I'm like, I mean, if he's a boyfriend, I would say, what did I say tonight? Oh my God. And the best thing about my ex that I like so much, he could never remember anything. He didn't remember what I just said. So it's like, after a while, I started thinking, it really doesn't matter.
And was he not listening, or did he have? Is he
Remember,
an early
he was
stage
just
of
going.
Alzheimer's?
He was just going through a divorce. I think he was
Okay.
in shock, and
Okay.
it was all just too much for him. I don't know. I have no idea, but he didn't seem. I think he didn't ever judge either. He just loved everything
And so,
about me.
not okay. So let's give some tips to the ladies, though.
Okay, so
What
I
do you,
would
what,
say
what do you think the girls do wrong, like when they're
this is
trying?
good.
Okay, go ahead.
this is what I think, and I was kind of putting it in your Facebook thing that we were writing.
Okay.
I think that women bring a lot of their past bitterness with them.
Oh, for sure.
On dates, and they
For
have
sure.
a bad attitude. So I think that that's my son closing us out.
Her son is very good looking, ladies.
He's
a cute kid. How old is
cute,
he?
24.
Very cute.
So I think that women bring their, even if it's, you meet the guy and it's like, oh, no, this isn't good. You can still have a great conversation that could even change your life.
Would you still do? I don't think you would do that.
I
knowing
do
you.
that.
So even if you got there and he was like, ugh, you would put on like you would still rise to the
remember the
occasion.
last time- see that-
Because I feel like I've set you up before and it didn't go down that way.
One time with that guy in Newport.
Okay, let's not reveal people, but yes, the guy in Newport, yes, he came a long way.
He
and
had
was
a
kind
weird
of-
thing on his face.
That's
like he
not
just,
true. He didn't have anything on his face. You're
He
crazy.
just got something cut out, and I kept looking like, did you just have surgery, or is that just how your face is? No, he said
don't know what
something
she's
rude too. He said, well, I don't mind coming to Malibu the first time, but after that, and he was just, the way he said it kind of scared me. Literally,
Weird.
it was
Interesting.
like, oh.
Okay, well, you
It
guys
was-
weren't clicking.
I would have liked to go on another date had
Oh.
I not set my friend up with
Oh.
you and you gave him away to her. I would have definitely.
He didn't want to go out with you again, though.
He told me he did.
He told me that he thought you were rude.
So we both thought each other was fruit.
Yeah, exactly. You both thought each other was fruit.
And then I ran into him sweet.
And then
Well,
that's
see,
why I set him up with. And she's
it could
great.
have just been my attitude at the time. So I've learned a lot since then.
Right.
I probably just had a bad attitude.
Yes.
So I think my advice to myself and to others would be bring your best self forward
Right.
in the date, no matter what.
Right.
Whether you're going to have a love connection or not with that person.
I agree.
You can have a great conversation.
I agree. And you never know who they know. You know, they
That's
could
never
introduce you to.
happened to me,
I know, but you never know. You gotta
But
be
I'm never
positive.
giving them away because I always think to
Never
myself,
giving 'em away.
from now on, I think, what about that guy when on one date? You know, it wasn't that. Maybe I should have given him a second chance. Now I kind of do the three chances.
So see,
though.
so this is, so here we go.
Yeah.
Now we're getting some info out of you.
Yeah.
So if you've made mistakes, maybe you didn't give somebody enough chances.
Yeah, maybe.
I
It's
think,
possible.
I mean, honestly, some of the best advice I can give women and men, but, you know, especially the women, is that, you know, if you go out with somebody and they're not completely horrible,
Yeah.
you should give them a couple more chances.
Well, there has to be, in my opinion, it has to be a compatibility thing.
I
if
agree with
you
that.
guys are
I agree
compatible,
with that.
but they could be in a low mood, or we could be
Yeah,
in a
or they
low
could be
mood.
nervous.
Or anything.
Yeah.
So if it seems like you guys could be compatible, but you just didn't love something they said, then
Right.
give another chance. You
Right.
know, but if it's like they just annoy you, or you're trying to fit a square something into a round hole, like I just kind of was trying to do in the last 3-date guy that I went out. then
Have
it's
you
probably-
ever become attracted to somebody, like, by how they treated you, and you weren't initially attracted to them?
Yes, RoboCop, Peter Weller, when I was 19.
Peter Weller, is he the director? He directs stuff
No,
now?
but he was
Weller.
RoboCop. So I
Doesn't
wasn't.
he directs now?
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
he?
he does. You're right.
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
does.
He's
I
cute,
forgot about
blonde.
him.
He's blonde.
Well, he's old now.
You
He's,
liked blondies.
I know. I
Yeah.
love blondies. Yeah,
Yeah.
but when I first met him, I thought he might be blonde, but he had seen me somewhere, and he picked me up with dark. It was dyed dark.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's scary. I don't know where that's coming from. And I was very superficial when I was 19. I was
still are,
I was
Betsy.
going for the looks. I probably am. So,
Spiritual psychology
I
bullshit.
know.
No.
But can you imagine what I was like before?
No, I cannot.
It's the
No,
same.
But I
My
like you.
best
But
friends
but
say
you
it
know
was
what?
the
But I
same.
like you because you're
I'm
real and you
honest.
can laugh at yourself,
Yeah.
and that's just why I like you. You know what I mean?
Thanks,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we can talk.
You know what
honestly.
you get with me for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, this guy picked me up, Peter, and I was like, I don't think I'm attracted to him or whatever. And then I was like, I'm definitely not going on another date with him. But then he said, you want to go to Steve Martin's party? And I was like,
Bing.
well, that sounds fun.
Right.
And then I went on another date, and I was like, that was kind of fun. I had a really good time. And then I invited him to my 20th birthday party, and he didn't show up. And I was like, I think we're missing somebody. I feel like I was like, Peter's not here. And I called him. I'm like, where the hell are you? You're supposed to be at my party. He's like, I thought it was Saturday night. So all of a sudden, it was like, I kind of missed him.
Oh.
And I liked him. And then after that, we had a long thing, and I was only 19. He was 37.
Oh, he was 37.
So
you were
I
20.
learned.
You said you turned
19,
20.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned at a young age that it could be a little bit of a slow build and
Right.
not to really judge right at first.
I honestly think some great advice for guys, and I've had this happen, and it's weird. So many guys we've talked about this on my threads. Guys give up so soon. They slink away if they get rejected instead of hanging in there. I can remember 2 instances, and I say this a lot to the ladies, and I rarely say this to the guys, so the guys never get to hear me say this, but I've had 2 instances in my life where I was not attracted. So the first guy shows up, and it was from Match.com, and this was way years ago, and
when you used to date.
when I used to date.
Now
That's
you're
true.
just working all the
It's all
time.
cobwebby. No,
Trying
don't
to
date.
get us
That's very true.
busy.
That's very true. Very, very true. I know. I know. Not me. I'm
Right in.
working. I'm
Look
working
at her,
all the
this
time.
hot woman.
Anyway, but he showed up and from Match.com, and he came to my house because back, you weren't worried about things. I figured how many
Right.
guys have I brought home from bars over the years? Why not let a guy pick me up at the house, for God's sakes? Anyway,
Right.
so he picked me up, and he was heavy, and not cute, and I was like, oh my God, and I didn't think it, but he was so thoughtful. He brought me this book on like 50s bamboo furniture because he knew I was into that. He'd listened when we were on the phone. We had a fantastic time. I'll never forget, he came to Burbank to pick me up, to take me back to Venice where he lived, to a restaurant he liked, and then back home. And he was just classy, classy, classy. And the good thing too is he didn't make a move too soon. Because had he made a move too soon, when I still wasn't that into him, it would have ended it. Because
Right.
it would have it couldn't have gone forward. But he played his cards right, kept asking me out, kept coming to get me. He made the effort. And then I ended up just totally being crazy about him.
Yeah.
Crazy about him.
And see, that's-
And I've had that happen twice.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. I forget what I was going to say. Shoot. But yeah, that they just make the effort. They don't give up. And I forget what I was going to say completely. Oh, well.
And you can become attracted. I mean, for me, I became attracted. I think women can. I don't know if men can do that as much. So, I think men are either in or out. I really do.
Yeah, I think men are, well, a lot more visual. So if
Right.
they're not attracted to what they see.
Right.
And then also you can say one little thing that could just be a trigger for anybody and throw them off. Or we can get thrown off if it's just something that hits home for us and
Right.
we don't realize that that's our personal trigger,
So if anybody, I think probably we should wrap it up. We've been talking for a while. But if anybody wanted to, like, what would be an ideal client for you for spiritual coaching or life coaching? Like, how would somebody say to themselves, because, I deal with, the gamut of people, but what would be an ideal client?
Your
They're
clients.
going through what?
Men, wealthy men who...
Oh, really?
No, seriously, because this is my dad. This is exactly my dad. And why
How
I think
is
I'm
your
so...
dad?
Passed away a year and a half
Oh,
ago.
I didn't know that, Betsy. I wasn't
okay.
sure.
That's okay.
You were very close with your father.
Very.
I'm
so
sorry.
I was so
Gosh, I'm
comfortable.
sorry. I didn't
Thank
know.
you. No, coaching him and being with him that I like to work with super successful men that thought that all their money and stuff was going to bring them happiness, but there's something missing and they can't figure out that piece. So that's where I come in and help them.
And then how would you help? Where do you begin?
I
Where do you
teach
begin?
them the nature of thought, and I just teach them that it's...
Do you think sometimes those
coming
wealthy
from-
guys think they know everything, so they don't? You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people think they know everything.
I know, but especially like, listen, a guy who's like a billionaire, private plane. Those guys, I find they, kind of think they know it all. So I don't know how you would coach them. I've had trouble trying.
Same way I coach everybody because they're just like us. I don't think they know it all. I just think that they have reached all the levels of success on the material plane, and they maybe haven't focused enough inwardly.
Okay.
And they haven't really found any spirituality or found the love and connection in their heart. So they need to just find that, and I help them do that.
And how long does it take before you can? Like, how many sessions? does
I
somebody have?
offer 6 sessions.
So
In
you can
fact,
help them in 6 sessions?
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I do, actually.
Okay.
I do a package of 6, and then they usually say, thanks, bye, I'll be back next time I need you.
What if somebody doesn't see it in 6? Could they say,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do 12?
Yeah, they could keep coming, but usually it doesn't take more than 6.
And do you do it here, or you go to them, or what do you do?
phone.
Oh, it's just on the phone.
I
My
usually
God.
I mean, they come here sometimes, but I don't have that many clients, and I don't, if they want to come, they can, but usually they're out of town and stuff.
Okay, so in wrapping this up tonight, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where would you want to be in 5 years?
Blissfully, happily, probably in a wonderful relationship.
Still in this house?
I'm still going to have this house.
Yeah, but you
I
would
don't know
relocate.
how often I'm going to be here. And just more of wonderfulness and more of the same.
And maybe grandkids by then.
No.
What, 5 years?
No, I don't think so. My boys are... Duke will only be 30, and no. I don't think they're gonna
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to.
No, I know. I don't want to rush it yet.
Don't
please.
rush it
Although
yet.
I
Okay.
can't wait. I'm excited for grandkids.
Well, you'll be the hottest grandma when that
Aw,
happens.
thank you.
So this has been fun catching up with you,
Yeah,
Betsy.
really fun.
Betsy Russell, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to have you. All right, we're signing off. I'll see you guys in the Tuesday after next. And coming up, a show soon that I'm going to be doing is all on fertility. I'm going to be shooting it at a fertility clinic.
Oh, geez, don't
We're
come here, my kids.
going to be showing with a turkey baster. No, but it should be a fun show. Anyway, all right, lots of good
All right.
shows to come up. Thanks, Betsy. I appreciate it. See you guys. I don't know how to end it, Betsy.